I even know what colic is, as I am childless, is because I dated a girl who had a kid, a young baby. That's a long story. Hey, let's get to the news before we divert too far off course here.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Let's head over to the newsroom and get the scoop on all the drone news around the world. Everything you'd ever want to know about drones. It's Jeff Sale. What's up?
Hello all. So we'll start this off. We've talked about the Chinese drones and the government being all worried about security. The National Defense University professor Harry Wingo recently testified at the Senate Commerce Security hearings regarding drones and their security issues. If you guys are familiar with I think it's Huawei cell phones, they put a ban on those because of the same security concerns, and you can't buy them or can't use them. Google doesn't support them, etc. The senators were proposing that the government do the same sort of thing to Chinese drone manufacturers. In production, or in specifics, they mentioned DJI.
That won't happen. I'm sorry.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah, but, okay, so...
No. I'm just kidding. I'm good. Had a little frog stuck in my throat. By the way, thank you so much, Mark's Drone Works, for the $8 super chat. Thank you so much.
Well, to make a long story short, Professor Wingo had identified that at least 80% of the drones in the United States are made by Chinese companies, which obviously brings forth the fact that there's a particular unprecedented level of risk for intelligence in the United States based off of these drones. But he's not advocating that DJI be banned, for instance. What he's interested in is he's trying to get the government to do sort of a huge investment in American or U.S. manufacturers so that we can compete vigorously with the Chinese drones. And so he wants to promote more open source software for drones and, get the market going.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, DJI needs some competition for sure.
Yeah, DJI needs competition.
Yeah.
So,
doesn't open source mean that like anybody can come in and write anything that they want into your firmware? Because to me, that seems like that whole security risk thing would be opened up a lot more.
Well, if you remember,
am I wrong? Is that not what that means?
If you remember way back when computers were in their infancy, we only had like 2 or 3 manufacturers: IBM, Macintosh, etc.
You gone and done did it, Chris. You asked Jeff Sills a computer question. We will be here all night. There's no time for the guests. I'm sorry, Ed Ricker. Good night, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
Jeff, it's all you, baby.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
No,
They open source computers, and you see how the industry blossomed and opened up competition. The same thing can happen with the drone industry, and I think it's a good deal. So next in the news, we'll get off of computers and we'll switch over to Air New Zealand. They are set to trial the use of drones to inspect aircraft for damage.
Normally, aircraft and drones don't mix well in the same airspace. But Air New Zealand's teamed up with ST Engineering, and we think we found a way that they can get along very well.
We will be inspecting the vertical stabilizer for this aircraft, which is above 80 meters high. The flight route of the drone are pre-planned for each aircraft type. Usually this will have to be done with a human inspector going onto a boom lift. With the help of drone scan, high-resolution images can now be captured effortlessly and streamed live to this monitor for viewing by the aircraft engineers.
The key to that is it has an algorithm which can capture and detect any defects we might have, sends that back to the engineer to then review and confirm or possibly initiate a further inspection. What that means for us is the opportunity that if it needs a repair, it can be done immediately, and also it gets our aircraft back in the air quicker.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I like to see that.
Yeah, and it's a trial process. They're using it at one of the Chinese airports where Air New Zealand has most of their aircraft being maintenance.
Hey, this just in. Francois with a $14 super chat. Thank you so much, Francois. Hey, all your Canadian pal. Keep up the good work. Mavic Air chocolate eyes, please. Yes, by the way, of course, if you want the eyeballs for your drone that is guaranteed to keep the birds away from your copter thing, $10 super chat, or you can PayPal me at this address, kenheronupload@gmail.com. But do remind me that you've bought them, because I will forget.
All right,
Swiss
so
cheese.
next on the news on the idea of open sourcing, engineers at the University of Toronto have designed a fully open source dual rotor tail sitter drone called the Phoenix.
Oh, cool. How's that work?
Wow, that is stable.
Yes, it's very stable. It uses off-the-shelf equipment. It's completely open source. They're trying to design a drone that can be 3D printed, that you can easily, create and build yourself with off-the-shelf stuff. It uses Pix Racer flight computers and basically common stuff that you would see in race drones.
Huh. That's cool.
That's really cool. Does it go over horizontal? It looked like a wing almost, where it would.
Yeah. From what I've been able to get right now, it's supposed to be able to fly horizontally as well as being able to hover. But I didn't see any sign in the video that they've gotten to that point yet.
Okay. That's cool, man.
So next in the news, we have Uber. They have showed up everybody with their food delivery services in Australia, and now they're going to bring that to San Francisco, San Diego.
So this is the
in United
first
States.
test with our partners where we're putting these pieces together. What we did is we actually demonstrated how we can start with an order originating through the Uber Eats app, accept the order, load the food into a specially designed packaging. That packaging is attached to the drone. The drone then flies a simulated delivery mission and drops off the package at the location, and then the package is delivered by the courier to the final destination. Today, we just did a very limited initial run, but we'll be building up in complexity as we get these additional approvals from the FAA over time, as we're able to then execute this simple mission, but do it in a safe, repeatable, and very reliable way.
That's perfect. I really like the idea of taking good, hot food and putting it under a big, huge fan and sending it across a long distance, especially like on a cool day or something. That'll cool it right down so you don't burn your mouth. That's a great idea, Uber.
Yeah. And if I could just build off of that for a second, it says it puts it on the drone and takes it further away to the carrier, who then delivers it to the person who ordered. What's the point of that?
I guess.
Okay, so think about
It's not a
this.
time saver.
They have a catcher, like a person that catches your drone for you. That doesn't make any sense. It's a gimmick, clearly.
Well, okay, so you guys have been talking about how are they going to.
I would order food if it was delivered by drone. I would totally do that.
Well, and they've been doing it. They do it in Australia right now. Uber's been delivering in Australia now for almost a year. So the idea is sound. The belief is, and you guys have talked about the concern about how are you going to deliver something to somebody's house, the trees and all the obstacles. And Uber's idea is that they're going to have designated places where the drone flies to and lands, and then a person there takes it and delivers it. That's what they're doing now. The future idea is that the drones will land on the roof of the cars of the couriers, so the courier will go to the location, and the drone will land on the courier's car.
I hate to interrupt you, but no, and no. Oh, furthermore, no. Oh, this just
I'm just trying to think of all the ways you can get money out of Uber. Like, oh, your drone scratched my car.
No. The drone would be landing on the courier.
Oh, that changes everything. That changes everything in the equation. Let's add more moving parts. No, that'll never happen. I mean, it's great. I love that people are thinking of these things for drones. It's great. The more uses, the better. But Amazon will have my tube socks in the sky. I believe that. I believe that my tube socks that will cost $30 will get droned to me one day. Maybe not while I'm still sane. I'll be 80 or 90, but no. But we are not. Uber Eats will never happen. You can mark my words. Record this moment. Uber Eats will never happen. Next door.
Well, okay. So, and I can't wait to see the drone or the video that you shoot when you order the tube socks. That's going to be great.
By the way, Raven 187, real quick, $2 super chat. Can we get some Falcon jerky? Are you Falcon kidding me? Of course you can. You're the Falcon best, and we Falcon appreciate you. Don't go Falcon changing. And
we're just talking about get demonetized.
10 toes. Yeah. So why is the video blurry? I think I have my glasses on wrong, except the chat is sharp. Are we blurry?
It's been skipping a little bit.
Has it? It's entirely possible we're dropping some frames or something. But I did notice that Jeff has the Barbara Walters foggy lens on going. You remember, like, Barbara Walters? Anybody? No? Nobody? Millennials? Okay. Barbara Walters was a reporter, and the rumor was that she would put Vaseline on the lens. I don't know if any people over 50 know that trick, putting the Vaseline on the lens to soften back when TV wasn't HD. Boy, I tell you, when the news
British trick.
Yeah, the news community, boy, they had a fit when everything went to HD, didn't they? Because there's a lot of news people that were counting on that low resolution to make them look younger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. So next in the news, drone camp, a nationwide camp to teach kids about drones and safety, is being held this week at Sioux City Community College.
Students are finding out about FAA rules and regulations, among other things. The classes are being held at Northeast Community College, South Sioux City Extended Campus. Drone Camp founder Matt King says when he first started the camp 4 years ago, only 20% of students had flown a drone. He says now about 80% of students who attend camp have flown a drone, which means young pilots who may not be aware of the regulations are flying the drones.
So we have tons of young pilots in the sky, but they don't know the rules. And it's amazing that they come in and they take a test before and after, and they can see how much they've grown.
Students have used a flight simulator to learn to fly. They've also built their own drone, which they get to keep, and they've practiced a search and rescue mission. Advanced students get hands-on experience editing video, and they get to fly some of the best drones on the market.
My favorite part of drone camp was learning new friends and kids, and also being able to fly drones.
That's cool, man. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's cool. Sorry, I was just being a jerk there, but like editing choice. The poor girl's putting a drone together and they use the 5 seconds where her screwdriver to the floor. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, that's great. I wish I could have gone to drone camp when I was a kid. I went to regular old
church camp.
I went to regular old camp. I have a horrible. Never mind. Just to let you know, there's a morning show running in my head, and it's a male morning show, and it's a not kid-friendly morning show. And very often, my brain is pushing things out of my mouth, and my mouth is like, "Don't you dare!" Anyway, Metro Drones, $20 super chat, and we'll do TNL After Dark one day, and it'll all come spewing out. It'll be wonderful. Happy TNL, 121 days till Spin Up 2019. Yeah, Chris, you going? Spin Up?
It's a little close to the baby coming, so I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Wouldn't it be just a great memory to have your first child be born at Spin Up? That would be just a magic moment. Then we could.
I don't think my wife would see it the same way.
You're right. So yes, there's a link to if you want to come to Spin Up. There's a link in the description of this video. By the way, this is show number 99.
Man,
drone.
That is
drone worship.
Huge accomplishment.
Hey, it's drone worship. He's here. The Skydio R1 could perform a landing on a vehicle with no issues. It's quite possible for Amazon. Cool. $5 super chat. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Now back to the news.
Next in the news, so the menace of having indoor micro UAVs flying around your house can be quite annoying. So this one young man, Drew Pitcher, decided to build a anti-drone sentry gun to deal with the problem.
Okay. Oh, that looks cool.
Wow. Oh, sweet.
Somebody doesn't have a girlfriend. Wow, that's neat. Look at that thing. It's tracking it.
Oh.
Neato.
God, that's impressively accurate.
Oh, that could be a fun game. So here's the only problem I see with that. One day, he'll be really hungry, and he'll call Uber Eats, and Uber Eats will come to his house, and he'll shoot down his own food. So that's the problem there.
Well, and I mean, it fires what? Nerf gun shots. So, I mean, at best, it's going to be able to hit the small UAVs. You fire that at a Phantom or a Mavic, it can just bounce off. So.
Right.
All right. So next.
There's a video.
Yeah, there you go. Next in the news, a gentleman decided to fly his drone over the Young Duda Square during the middle of a Raptors game.
Okay. Canada might have a few problems with this. Looks like, just from first glance, he might be flying over people.
Canada has
that's
a
the
big
impression
problem.
again.
What's that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Canada has a big problem with this. The video has raised a lot of alarms in Canada. You know, you're not supposed to be doing this. The fines are $3,000 and up. So, yeah, this guy's a big drone.
I mean, there are thousands of people down there, like, sitting on buses and flipping police cars and breaking their own town when they win a game, so yin yang, you know. Did he crash in anybody?
I'm not. It doesn't have any information as to whether or not in the article they've actually caught the guy, but of course the video had his name tagged on it, so I'm pretty sure that they're going to be able to localize who it was, and you know he'll get his fines and probably face a lot more for flying where he was.
I can make a prediction that his parents will end up paying the fine because he's 14. Anyway. Nothing against 14-year-olds, but you don't have a real good filter at that age. I know you think you do, 14, but take it from 52, almost 53. You don't. Okay. Boy, if I had kids. Anyway.
Speaking about drones over crowds, Team Black Sheep, a company that specializes in drones, recently published a video that shows the massive number of people who attended last week's protest in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's FPV.
Yeah, that's FPV. Is this is it well, how does Hong Kong, how do they feel about drones?
Well, Hong Kong has similar rules like what we do, but in this particular case, that it was less, I guess, about the drone and more about what the people were protesting about that raised the concerns. There were over 2 million people out that day. And they're protesting a controversial law that would extradite people suspected of crimes to China from Hong Kong, and they don't want to see that go through.
But what a great way to display how many people there are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even if you had a helicopter there, the helicopter's restricted from flying too close to buildings and even going over the city proper sometimes. But look at this. He's surfing the buildings and...
Dude.
What a great display of... you know, I don't necessarily agree with the whole flying over people thing. Chris, how do you feel about that? I mean, it's a law here in the States and in Canada, but how do you feel about it? What's your opinion on flying over?
I don't necessarily have a problem with it, particularly now with how safe they are.
Yeah. With
how many fail-safes they have and how many redundancies they have. It doesn't really bother me. It's not something I really think about too much. It does bother me when people fly crazy over people, like zipping in really low and fast and things like that. But I think I can very easily not. Wow, see, like that's a sketchy shot. I feel like I can be over people and be comfortable that something's not about to go wrong. You're just being aware, spatially aware of where you are. I don't think that that's really an issue anymore.
Right.
And this is the reason why FAA has been, giving out waivers for companies to be able to fly over crowds and stuff like that. And you're going to see, like, with Part 107 holders and stuff like that, you'll be able to do it. So it's just a confidence level in where the drones are and what they've been able to build into them from the safety standpoints.
Well, I mean, flying FPV over people is much more dangerous than flying, say, a Mavic over people.
Yeah.
FPVs fly for 3 minutes? They go vertical, they go upside down. I mean, Vertical is not the right word.
Yeah, no, there's probably more of a chance for something to go wrong with FPV.
Yeah.
But
regardless, this footage is amazing.
It is amazing, and you know, yeah, I would say that you have a better chance of getting dive bombed by a bird than. I mean, it depends on where you are, though. I mean, if you're at a concert, and I mean, you have a right to not have that even a slight chance of a drone falling on your head. I understand that.
True.
But if everyone's in agreement, like, I don't know, it's just such a touchy thing. And I would say that if you're new to droning, you don't have your Part 107 or your country's equivalent, then you shouldn't fly over people. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that 100%.
All right. So last in the news, there was...
And on that note.
Yeah, and on that note. There was a short-lived rumor that there's a GoPro Karma 2. Here's Ash, the UK correspondent for us, with more details.
Remember the GoPro Karma drone? Well, version 2 might be on its way. We've discovered a little bit of information that might lead us to suspect that the GoPro Karma might be getting a revamp. Now, that might be an updated version of their original drone. GoPro suffered big issues with Karma drone. There were lots of returns, crashes, failures, Karmas dropping out of the sky, and it was eventually determined that the cause of this was a power issue, a connection problem between the battery and the drone, and so GoPro launched a mass recall of every single unit. But you can't buy it because it's out of stock, but they do offer refurbished drones. Now, this is where our tip-off information came to us, because a Droning On viewer was chatting with an agent from GoPro, asking about the refurbished drones and inquiring about when the Karma would be back in stock. The agent in that chat initially responded to state that the facility was upgrading their Karma drone. And when they questioned further, the subsequent response came through to state that they've had lots of current competition and releases from a different company. Now, I wonder which company they're referring to there. DJI, perhaps? But they then went on to say that they're not sure of the release date, but that there is a lot of improvement that they've added to the drone. Now, that doesn't sound like basic updates to a firmware release, because this drone is discontinued. They wouldn't be updating its hardware or any other aspects of the existing offering. This does sound like there might be a new drone behind the scenes currently being developed with lots of upgrades and improvements over what was previously on offer. Now, it might just be that this chat agent's communication is a bit lost in translation, but on the other hand, maybe this agent has accidentally let slip that the GoPro Karma 2 might be on its way.
Wow, how about that?
That's cool.
And it's all vaporware. It's not real. Ash had also pointed out that he had a response. One of the first times GoPro actually responded to him in one of his videos, identifying that it's not going to happen. It's not real, and you know, don't think that there's a GoPro Karma 2. So, well, then, I'm sorry, Kelly. I apologize.
If it's not true, not to perpetuate any rumors or anything, but if it's not true, how do I have this official GoPro Karma list of features that was sent to me by my connection at GoPro? How do I have this? Well, let me just run down, see if this would help you buy a new one. Apparently, the new Karma 2 upgrades would be, they've claimed that they've increased the fall rate, so now Karmas will drop out of the sky 20% faster. And that's an improvement. Apparently, the legs will fold in two places, so it'll have like elbows and knees. So that's kind of cool, right?
It's more photogenic that way.
Absolutely. And it'll be waterproof. So, you know, when it falls out of the air and lands in a lake, then you can retrieve it and send it up only to fall down again. I wish Kelly Green was here to see this. He still owns a Karma drone. Is anybody in the chat? Does anybody in the chat? If you own a Karma drone, I apologize for your poor decision. No, we got a super chat. Thank you so much for $25 super chat from Uranus. Hey Ken, I used Heron 18 code for Remote Pilot 101. Passed my 107 test today, so I thought I'd share some of the savings with you. Thanks, Bob D. That is awesome. Congratulations, Bob. That is great. And if you just joined the show late, remotepilot101.com is our sponsor, and you can go there, and of course you can sign up for that is a poorly placed banner right there. Yeah. Heron 18 will get you a discount. Now, Jeff, before we let you go, and before we bring in Ed Ricker, who is standing by, I wanted to give some news to you and everyone watching. I got a call from the director of the Save Lucy Committee, and they saw my YouTube video on this Margate, New Jersey historic landmark. And Lucy the elephant is and if you don't know what it is, I'll just play very quickly a little bit of Lucy. This is an excerpt from my video.
Hey everybody, I'm Ken Heron, and this is Lucy the elephant in Margate, New Jersey.
I grew up in New Jersey, and Lucy the elephant's a big part of my childhood, so I videoed her, and I was very proud when I heard that the Save Lucy Committee, they asked permission to show parts of my video in the museum. So that's
excellent.
Pretty cool. I feel really good about that, being able to, help Lucy, because she was almost torn down for years and years. There's a link in the description of this video to the whole video, and I urge you to check it out. It's a very interesting historic landmark, and we almost lost it. So.
Yeah, I loved that video. You did a great job on that, and the history behind it was fabulous.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody before we say goodbye to you, Jeff Sills?
Once again, I just want to give a shout out to Mike Roche. I appreciate the hat, sir. Thank you very much. And
Chris, you're not dancing.
I was almost there.
Chris, you're not dancing. You need to participate.
I was totally dancing.
You were not. You were tapping your toes. I didn't see it.
Not count for anything?
No. That just means you need to breathe into a paper bag. Try again.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird. Bird's a winner. Well, a bird. Bird is a winner. Well, a bird. Well, a bird is a winner. Well, a bird. The bird's a winner.
I don't know why. That is just fantastic. It just doesn't ever seem to lose its punch, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does it? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. All right, Jeff. Thank you so much for being with us and for the news. And there's links in the description to his channel and drone news and drone book and all that stuff. Thanks, man.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
Gotta love that Jeff Sills. He's a good guy.
Watching him crumble that way is just so satisfying.
It really is.